What's going on, y'all? It's your boy H-Dog, and I'm back with another video. And I just wanted to talk about, about the recent leaked screenshot of Bioware's upcoming game Anthem. And to say the screenshot really been showing the in-game store, the price point, and this is from believe the same VIP demo that just recently went down this past weekend. And they had different prices, with the most expensive being $20 and the least expensive being $4. Now, apparently, a lot of people took issue with it, and there's been a lot of people that took issue with the microtransactions, and people, going like, oh my god, $20 for a skin, and people just ripping into EA and Bioware. Now, you ripping EA, fine, that is fine, you should rip into them. And people forget that the VIP demo does not represent the final build of the game. It pretty much is an older build that's from way while ago. In the current build, we don't know how the store looks. And if you're someone who did not play the alpha, if you're someone who did not play the VIP demo, then you probably would be on edge because of word of mouth, and you would be on edge because multiple videos made by other YouTubers, like Young Yeah, like Legacy Killer HD, Angry Joe, just to name a few off the top of my head. And it's like the one common thing I've seen is that no one is not showing empathy for Bioware. And I get it. Bioware is attached to EA. EA is attached to Bioware. You can't separate the two literally. But figuratively speaking, when it pertains to Anthem and its microtransactions, you gotta, separate the company. That's when you separate the company. And personally, I don't like microtransactions about like the next person. I don't think they should be in games. And I've made that very clear myself. Even though, I would consider myself a hypocrite, or used to consider myself a hypocrite. Because used to make videos about, oh my god, this game has microtransactions. We the gamer need to rally the troops, so to speak. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that we as gamers don't make a difference, because we do. Battlefront 2 shows that, but more so in a positive way. If we pretty much say, okay, this is what we want to see moving forward, this is how you fix this, then that's fine and dandy. But when people try to say, let's boycott this game, don't buy this game, whatever, you gotta consider who is publishing this game. This game, what was it, 2017, 2018? I think it was 2017. Yeah, it was 2017. I don't know why my memory's fucking up like that. But anyway, when Visceral Games got closed down, it wasn't that long ago. And keep in mind, that was a successful game studio. And I know, time and time again, I've heard, Bioware say, multiple devs from Bioware say, oh, we're not going to get shut down, regardless of what happens with Anthem. And people could make the argument, oh, they're saving face. They're just saying that because they themselves probably don't know. But I think they say that because they probably do know more than we do, because since they're the ones who's in the board meetings with EA, who's in the office with them pitching ideas, they would know more than we do. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want nobody to take that the wrong way. I'm just being honest. Now, I'm going off track. Let me get back on track. I would say that, are they cringy? Yes. But I think people's biggest qualms with it would be, okay, will we be pressured into buying these microtransactions? That's gonna be the thing. Will we be pressured into buying them? And if you earned, like, okay, let's say assuming if that is the final look of the store, let's say if you earn if you net at least bare minimum 20,000 coin per expedition, like assuming if you do, and let's just say that's just doing little things, like, I don't know, exploring a cave or whatever. But if you do something big like completing contracts, side missions, main missions, and doing all these other things, and you gain like a ton of coin, then I don't think, and another thing to take into consideration, I'm not sure if, like, on top of, you know, being able to salvage the loot for scrap, I'm not sure if you can sell the loot at all. Now, if you can sell the loot on top of salvaging it in a merchant at Fort Tarsus, then you won't have any reason to buy the microtransactions, because if you can sell the said loot for a reasonable price at a merchant, then you won't feel pressured into buying anything. Just farm a lot of loot and sell it, rinse, repeat. But I would say people who don't take Bioware into consideration, people who look at Bioware and say, oh my god, this isn't Bioware anymore, or when it pertains to these prices, you know, oh my god, it is rocket science to set a price point. I mean, that's understandable, but I think when you look at it, you gotta think that when it comes to this, you gotta start separating EA from Bioware at some point. Like, you gotta look at it and say, well, okay, this is EA. This is EA coming in and say, look, you gotta have these microtransactions at this price, like this. They can't be no lower. They can't, nor can they be any higher. But no one wants to take Bioware's side in this. It's like, oh, it's all their fault. But it's kind of funny how recently you have certain people who say, who want to get all up in arms about developers being overworked. But when it comes to developers being forced to put shady business practices in games, oh, it doesn't affect me. All of a sudden, it doesn't affect me. That's not my problem. Like, but you just said you care about the developer. So how can you care about the developer if you don't, like, how can you care about one thing pertaining to the developers but not the other? You can't half-ass anything. You can't defend a developer half-ass. You can't defend them for one thing but not the other. You gotta do it 100%. And when it pertains to these microtransactions and Bioware's official statement, people coming at their necks, but they're just doing their jobs. And people can say I'm damage controlling. People can say I'm making excuses. I'm providing the facts. I'm gonna be 100% blunt, honest with you. Developers, especially Bioware in this case, do not like putting microtransactions in games. This is not their decision. Now, if the truth was to be known that it is up to them and not EA, then yeah, that is disheartening and disappointing to an extent. And it's like, damn. But until I hear something like that, I digress. And I feel as though people don't take them into consideration. If you work for Bioware, you're just doing your job. If the CFO comes in, Or if you're in a meeting and they look at the game, they say, oh, okay, well, you need to have the microtransactions set up like this. You need to have them in the game. You need to have the store like this. You need to have progression this way, that way. They can't argue. They can't say, no, we cannot put microtransactions in games. And Bioware's probably, if it was solely up to them, there would not be microtransactions in this game. I really do believe that. Now, we don't know how the current build of the store looks. It could be more expensive. It could be less. It could be a situation like the VIP demo where it's like you get the worst version of the in-game store first, and then say when the free demo comes out, and then when the final game comes out, it's like it catches people by surprise, like, wow, this is not what I seen a couple weeks ago. This is the best version I've seen of this, and they applaud EA and Bioware tremendously on that. It's just, like I say, I think some people who are hating on the game gonna be the main ones sitting there slurping off EA when this game comes out. And another thing, if you want this game to fail, then if you scream boycott this game, don't buy this game because of these microtransactions, to me, it's almost the equivalent of telling EA, go ahead and close them down. Go ahead and close down Bioware. And to some people that could say, oh, well, that's kind of extreme. But this is EA we're talking about. The people who sharpen their blade ready to cut down another studio. So be mindful of that. When you say boycott, don't buy, protest, all that. Because if that studio gets closed down, don't make a damn video, don't make an angry rant, don't tweet, don't shout, don't do nothing, just stay silent. Because you got what you wanted, and that's that. Now, there's nothing wrong, like I said earlier, about wanting to see change, but there's a line you don't cross. And I'm really looking at this like, okay, have compassion, have empathy for these developers. That's all I'm saying. And I know this video is going on over 12 minutes. I haven't made a video this long in a while, but it's probably because I'm going off the rip and I'm just processing my thoughts, seeing all these other videos of nobody having empathy for Bioware. No one has empathy for Bioware. And it's just like in real life, right? We work at our 9-to-5 job. We may work at a company that a lot of people may not like. And your boss may ask you to do something or task you to do something that you don't want to do. And you know deep down it's wrong. Even your boss knows it's wrong. But it gotta get done. Because you're not gonna tell your boss no. You're gonna do your job. And these people are only guilty of doing their job. They're putting microtransactions in the game, sure. Setting them at $20 when people think this is it, this is how it's gonna look. When it clearly will not. And they keep on changing the price. And the reason why they probably haven't had revealed a set price is because, say if they have the price really low, that's what people gonna expect, low prices, and then boom, day one it's like egregious prices. Now, if the cheaper the better, I say. And who knows, maybe there's a slight possibility that there may be somewhere in the status menu in Anthem where, like right now as we speak, that you could go in the options menu and toggle the microtransactions on and off. If we can do that day one, then I don't think no one's gonna be fussing. about the game pertaining microtransactions. Maybe a small amount, but you could just say, well, hey, well, they could just go in there and cut it off if they don't like it. And they could play a game as it's meant to be played. And I think that's what the future microtransactions could end up heading down the road. It could end up leading. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. It's been going on long as it has been. But if you enjoyed this video, please hit like, subscribe, tap the notification bell to stay updated on gaming news like this. And until next time, it's been your boy H-Dog, and I'm out. Peace.